Hello everyone, it's Precious Pioneer and welcome back to my channel. I know that I have a whole bunch of new people on here. I finally hit 100 subscribers, so if you're new and you just joined my little circle, thank you so much and welcome. I know it's been a little bit of a while since I created a video, but I wanted to sort through a lot of your questions and comments regarding my previous video about how to start your own cookie company. I do have a part 1 and 2, so if you need some help getting started or have some general questions, go ahead and check out that video and then send me more questions, comments, concerns. But after sifting through all of your inquiries, I wanted to create a series kind of answering some of your questions that I kind of didn't touch on, and so I'm really excited. Today's episode, as hinted in the title, is going to be kind of related to how to create your own original cookie recipe. I know that when you first get started, it's kind of difficult because you don't want your cookie to taste the same as like somebody else's, or a chocolate chip cookie can seem so basic in the sense that like you can get it anywhere. And so what can you do to make your company, your cookie, your brand stand out more? What can you do to create a new experience for somebody? That way it's just not like, oh, you know, I'm buying a regular chocolate chip cookie. No, it's like, this is my own cookie. This is like, I made it because it has this, this, and this. And so today we're going to be talking about how to create your own original, unique recipe and how it can kind of elevate you and put a stamp on your own brand. Okay, before getting started, when developing any sort of new recipe, you kind of have to reflect and think about, what are you known for? What does your brand represent? What do you want your product to symbolize? You know what I mean? So all your cookies are your products. So what does that product say about your company, your brand, who you are, what you're trying to do? And I kind of broke it down into 3 different categories. Obviously, there's all kinds of different more that you can add on, but I figured that these are the 3 basic ones that you can just get started off with as like a thought bubble to kind of add your own insight. But the first is flavor, the look of it, and the ingredients. Those are the things that you can kind of elevate yourself and be known for those things. So for my example, when I started the Flourish Cookie Company, I was known for being vegan, healthy, picking a demographic for people who wanted a small treat but didn't want to go into something that was like gluttonous and had a million types of ingredients that you didn't know. Like, I really prided myself on, hey, like, you can count the ingredients on your hand and they're all local, and you can literally call the avocado farm that was like down the street. You can find the eggs that was 2 miles away from your house. Like, I really prided myself on saying that like all of the ingredients that you're eating can be found in your local area. So what other cookie does that? You know, so that was what my cookie, my package, my product represented. So you could do it by your flavor. You can have like really unique flavors like coconut blueberry with the mango twist. You know, you can make it super complicated if that's your thing. You can have the crazy unique flavor recipe brand, that's like one. Or you can have the look of it. A lot of you guys, when developing a cookie company, I know like on Etsy and things like that, you're known for having like really cool intricate design. I know someone who makes only Star Wars or like anime themed cookies, and that's what they're known for. So and that's such a niche market, but it's also like a huge money making market, because for huge events like Comic-Con and things like that, that's the person they call, because nobody else can do it better than they can, you know, and they know all the different characters and things like that. So you can be known for your look, your design, your packaging, your aesthetic, or you can be known for your ingredients, like I was. Like, I was really proud that like it was vegan and it was healthy, so it was made out of avocados, and like, so that's my niche. Like, so it can be from your ingredients, it can be for the vegans, it can be for the gluten-free people, it can be for a very proud like allergenic sort of cookie, so it doesn't have like wheat or gluten or, you know, nuts and seeds, and like pays attention to that sort of niche market, or like keto and all those little things. So you can be known for those 3 main categories. I would break that down up first. Okay, now once you have all that figured out, the second thing is to understand the science of how cookies work. Know that cookies can't 100% be original because it requires the essentials. It needs a sweetener, it needs a fat, it needs a binder, and it needs a thickener. So you need all of these components to kind of form what a cookie is, or else it'd be something else, like a biscuit or biscotti or something else. So once you understand that you need all of those things, then you can modify based on what you want. However, you need to create a very good base cookie, like a plain sugar cookie without any added ingredients and things like that. Come up with a very solid base cookie. That's what I did. It also helped with your inventory, because when you have different sort of if you switch out too many things, then suddenly your cost goes up, especially when you're starting out. Like, you don't want a wheat cookie and a white flour cookie and a rye cookie, unless that's your ingredients thing, unless that's your niche. But you want a really good base cookie before you can kind of come up with original cookie flavors and ideas, because you can always add things to it. But if you have just the foundation correct and awesome that you can use for any sort of cookie modifier, then that's something that you can do to elevate your originality when you're creating your recipe. Okay, and then my next tip is to go online. Online is your best friend. Remember, I said there is no original cookie like that has done past, but you can get ideas from everywhere online. Like, there's banana based cookies, there's no bake cookies, there's microwave cookies, there's fried cookies, there's all kinds of things, and that can kind of jog your or loosen up some creative webs in your mind to help you come up with certain ideas and things like that. And that's what I originally did, because the thing is, though, like, I knew what I envisioned. I did step one, and I know what I wanted my brand to represent. I wanted it to be healthy and stuff, and I was like, how do I do that? And then I looked at the science, and I know that butter isn't that great, and then white sugar isn't that great. So I'm like, what can I do as a sweetener substitute? What can I do as a flour substitute? What can I do as a binder? Instead of eggs, what can I use? Instead of fat, like butter, what can I use? And so what I did is, for the sweetener, I'm like, okay, so honey's pretty sweet, molasses is pretty sweet, and those are like on the healthier end. Brown sugar is better than white sugar, I can use a little bit of that. Coconut, nectar, boom, sweeteners. I just listed all the different ones that are a little bit healthier. And then I'm like, okay, butter, I need a fat to make it, you know, you want that ooey gooiness of a cookie, you want that like flavor. And so I'm like, okay, what has a high fat content? I'm like, okay, coconut oil, coconut oil is okay, avocado oil. But the thing with oil and cookies, you know, you need to know the science, is it makes it kind of greasy, it changes the texture, it changes the flavor. Like, sunflower oil is very dominant, so you don't want your whole cookie tasting like that, you know, especially when you want like chocolate or, you know, lighter palated cookies. So you have to keep in mind how the flavor profile comes into it. And then I'm like, okay, avocados are really great with mono fats, and they don't produce a lot of flavor. They may change the color a little bit, which threw a lot of people off. So I had to figure out how to like balance it so that the color wouldn't change so much, because nobody like really appreciates eating a super neon green cookie, because it kind of screamed health and then it turned people away. You know, that's a little bit weird. So I had to keep that in mind for my customers. And so it's just going through the checklist of ingredients, what you can do to match with your brand, to match with your prices, to match with whatever it is that you're going for. And what I did was go online, and I needed to find inspiration. Like, bananas are a good binder for instead of egg substitute. Chia seeds, flax seeds, grind it up. There's like different things that you can do to kind of bind your cookies. Those can be a good binder. So it's like, you need to do your research to understand what can be a substitute, what can't be, and you need to experiment. You can't just like throw it all together and hope it works. You just got to find what's best for your cookie. And I know that there's these little cookie charts going out. I'll like post one somewhere here, but it depends on what kind of cookie you're going for. So like, I really wanted a fluffy cloud like cookie, and so avocados did that. And the thing with the science with that is that you needed to whip the sugar and the fat together to create those little air pockets to get it really, really light and fluffy cookies. But if that's not your style and you like the crispier, thinner cookies, then maybe look into oils, maybe look into room temperature butter instead of ice cold butter. You know, you have to experiment with all these different things to kind of get the texture that you're looking for, because sometimes those thin, crispy ones is what people like, but you have to think about your packaging, because they tend to break. That's why I like the soft ones. They can travel better without crumbling. And so you have to think about all these different things when creating your original recipe, what you're going for. Do you want it soft? How long do you want them to last for? Like my cookies, because they were so soft, they actually lasted like a week or two in shelf life and packaged. You know, the crispy cookies, maybe they don't last a day or two, and then that's high perishability. So when you're starting out as a home cook, as you're starting out as a home business, you have to think about all this, because you want to save money and you want to increase your sales, but you don't want your product to go to waste. So you want something that will be long lasting, represent your brand, things like that. And those are all those little things that you have to think about when starting and creating your own original recipe. Like, what are you shooting for? And so I hope this video is really helpful for you. If you have any more questions, please leave them below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It would really help to support me. And if you found this video helpful, give a thumbs up. Leave a comment about any questions you have, any more videos you want to see in the future. But thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great week, and I hope you and your family are staying safe during this time. Prayers out to all of you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.